Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful night. I'm going to do my best to try to explain some of the things that Wonderful 101 Remastered now has with the new update that was recently added with version 1.03. Give me a minute. Let me just grab a few things here, and then I'll be able to explain a little bit of the things that this update has. I want to make this video as a chance to be able to clarify some of the things that this update entails to, since it's left a lot of people confused. Hold on. Let me just adjust the volume here because the game's a little too loud for me. Awesome. Alright, so let's give a rundown here. So the new update that Wonderful 101 has is this brand new option here called Wonderful Code. Now, for those of you that are unaware, this game has a bunch of unlockable characters, and the way to unlock these characters is to go through and unlock achievements, which are presented to you in the form of bottle caps. Hey, Meliodas. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Alright, so when you play through the game, you will unlock achievements which are presented to you as bottle caps. Let me show you the bottle caps. There we go. As you play through the game, you unlock these bottle caps for performing certain tasks. They range from simple things like beat the game on this difficulty, complete this operation, so on and so forth. And as you play through the game, you will also be able to unlock these characters. These characters are unlocked by unlocking certain bottle caps that pertain to them. So, for example, if you wanted to get Prince Vorkin, you would have to unlock the Little Prince, fully charged, Around the World, Finders Keepers Prologue, Operation Annihilation, and Finders Keepers Operation 006. The same thing for the rest of the characters. So Chugi requires these bottle caps, Immorta requires these bottle caps, and so on and so forth. In the case of Bayonetta... Oh, hey! Taitsurugi. We were just chatting. For those of you that are watching this stream, I want you guys to follow along with Ty. He's a really cool dude. He's starting to do his new podcast where he chit-chats with people that love playing style games. Eventually, there will be a new podcast where I will appear online. You may be wondering, Ty, why I decided to do this stream. I was actually trying to stream Wonderful 101 yesterday, but it did not work out well. But now I'm actually starting to stream this again, and since my internet connection seems pretty good, I think I can go ahead and do this rundown, which is something I've been wanting to do because there's a lot of confusions going on with the new update. This is just going to be a short stream where I talk about the new stuff that the game has. So where was I? Oh yeah. So as I was talking about, like, when it comes to Wonderful 101, you need to unlock bottle caps to unlock these characters. And for Bayonetta, you essentially need to collect every single achievement in order to unlock Bayonetta. Oh yeah, no problem, dude. And so for Bayonetta, it's a very daunting task because there are 100 achievements to unlock in this game. But now PlatinumGames has added a new method for unlocking these characters in a much more easier way, with Wonderful Code. Now with Wonderful Code, this works like a traditional cheat menu for games like Diddy Kong Racing, where to unlock these characters, you simply need to input a code in the form of a word. So for Bayonetta, you simply need to type out Umbran Gift. Wonderful Codes unlock many great bonuses, but some may alter gameplay. Do you want to enter the code? Definitely I'll enter it. Here's the funny thing though. Since I have all the characters unlocked after getting all those achievements, this has no real difference to me. Like, there's no actual additional content for me here because I already unlocked everything. But I can definitely see this as something extremely useful for players that are new to the game, or for players that want to start a fresh new save file, but they want to start playing the game with all the really cool bonuses right from the start. So that's actually what I'm going to do. For this stream, I will be playing the prologue and Operation 001 as a way to sort of play it the way one would if they want to jump into the demo. And as I'm playing through the operation, I'll be giving out a couple of tidbits on what you can do with some of these new equipments that you'll be able to unlock right from the start. So let me go ahead and load up a fresh new save file, and then I'll unlock the new data. So let's go to Wonderful Code, and let's go ahead and input the codes. First off, let's go for Volume 1, which is Umbran Gift. And just like that, we get a bunch of cool stuff. Here, with Umbran Gift, you get 300,000 O-Parts. O-Parts being the currency for Wonderful 101. You get 2 extra custom blocks, or custom block slots. You also get Speed Charge, Energy Converter, 2 of which are the best custom blocks you can have in a game, if I'm being honest. You also unlock Wonder Bayonetta, which actually happens to be one of the weaker unlockable characters, but I'll go into more details about that soon. You also get Unite Gun right from the start. You also get Multi-Unite right from the start. You also get Wonderful Dummy, which is essentially a scape doll. If you die and you have a Wonderful Dummy, instead of going to the game over screen, the dummy dies instead of you. So basically, the dummy takes the place of your death, giving you another chance to continue playing the game. Wonderful Card is essentially a credit card that you can unlock in the game by mixing some items together. The credit card allows you to buy 1 item from the store completely for free. You don't need to spend any O-Parts. So yeah, this is just another really amazing thing for you to start off with. And then the rest of the stuff you see here on the list are just little items that helps you heal or regain battery, or just little things that just helps you along the way. Alright, so next up we have John, and her code is Angel Slayers. This will unlock Wonder John, which on the opposite side of the spectrum, I'd say John is probably the best unlockable character for you to get, which I'll talk about in more detail soon. You also get Wonder Rodan, and you also get access to Unite Hammer right from the start. Now, the rest of the volumes here, these are codes that Platinum Games has yet to unveil, so we're gonna have to wait and see when they'll start revealing the code. So if you want to get first look at these codes, then you'll have to wait for Platinum Games to announce it. The funny thing is, on Reddit, some people were actually able to figure out one of the codes. Now, I will not share that code with you guys here on stream, but once the stream is over, I will be putting it in the description. And if you guys want to try it out, well, yeah, just check out the description after the stream is done. For now, I will only be playing Operation 001A with Volume 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and play the game. Let's treat this as though I'm trying out the demo, since I can't download the demo, because for some reason when you're playing it on Steam, Steam doesn't allow you to have a demo of a game if you already own the full game.
Normal.
Oh, and in the interest of time, I will be skipping the cutscenes, so don't mind me. So for this first mission, it's really easy. All you really need to do is skip these bad guys. You know, that's actually a very interesting thing, Last Gogeta. I think this is definitely going to change the way speedrunners play the game, because honestly, some of these things that you unlock right from the start is kind of broken. Okay, so right now I do not have the full team. Your first actual mission is to defeat these enemies using only one hero, so I cannot do all these cool things right from the start. So as you can see, these are the O parts. This is essentially the currency that you collect in the game. Beat up as much enemies as you can, get a high score, and you'll be getting yourself some good O parts. You're gonna need them to buy some of the really cool things in the store. I'll give some of my recommendations once we get to the store. By the way, if you want to see a much more thorough gameplay from yours truly, I have on YouTube my original live stream for Wonderful 101, both the first playthrough and the 101% hard difficulty. I also have the 101% pure platinum run if you guys want to see a much more better representation of how I play the game without the distraction of having to talk.
Oh, right. Unite! Hand!
By merging their wonder energy, special combat agents of the wonderful 100 loop together in single file to form the Wonder Liner.
Let's just go ahead and slice up this car in half. And just like that, we're right in the action. So, in case you don't already know how this game works, the objective behind the combat system is to draw out your shape. You want to draw a circle to get fist out, and you want to draw a straight line to get sword out. It's a very simplistic approach to the combat system, but having to draw things on the fly is going to be the part that requires some mastering. But don't fret. Practice makes perfect. The best way to really explain how the drawing system works is to look at your gestures as though you're doing an input command in a fighting game. So for example, if you want to do a circle, treat it like if you were doing a grapple technique. Circular motion. A straight line, pretty self-explanatory. For gun, you want to treat gun like if you're doing a shoryuken. So it'd be quarter circle front. Boom. Of course, you'll start getting into the more complicated shapes like the hammer, which requires you to do a straight line and then a circle. Oh, and as you're playing through the game, be on the lookout to collect these wonderful batteries. Collect as much batteries as you can to build up your gauge. The bigger the gauge, the more options you have on being able to produce more abilities and weapons. Right now, I only have about 5 bars of battery. The rest, I'm going to need to collect the batteries to build up that gauge. See, with all those batteries, I now earn another gauge. This gives me more time to use items. Hadouken? Okay, yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah, a Hadouken. By the way, I should really make it clear that this is all improvisational, so if I do slip up and say the wrong things, I do apologize ahead of time. I'm not exactly good at improvisational speaking. If I had a script, I probably would do a much better job of explaining these things, but since I've played this game for so long, I could sort of convey things without the need of having to be super intelligent with my words. Also, the game is telling you that the most important aspect in building a big team is to collect these citizens along the way. As you play through the game, you're gonna need to make bigger weapons to fight against larger enemies. But to have a big weapon, you're gonna need a big team. That's what the citizens are there for. Try to collect as much citizens as you can so that your team can grow. Also, as you play through the game, you'll be finding these secret heroes. These are heroes that will remain permanent on your team. First off, here's our very first permanent team member, Wonder Professor. If you want to know what kind of a weapon user he is, just look at the symbol next to their name. So next to Wonder Professor, you'll see that he is a sword user. Let's go ahead and start beating up these dudes. Sword, to me, in my opinion, I think sword is perhaps the best weapon in the game. It's going to be the most useful for you. I would not be surprised if you end up leveling up your sword first from the rest of your weapons. It's the easiest weapon to draw, and it's also the one that's got the best range and damage for attacking the enemies. Now, here's a very funny thing, actually. So, normally, you're supposed to draw a chain here. However, if you draw a hammer, you can break this panel to reveal a hidden CUHRAYZEE. Now, you're not actually supposed to do this right from the very beginning, since you don't actually have hammer at the start. But since Rodon is in my team, I can immediately go for the CUHRAYZEE. CUHRAYZEEs are essentially secret missions that require you to defeat enemies in a certain way. Let me see. So what does having more specific type of members do? For example, what does it change if you have more sword users? Does it increase? Does it just increase damage, or does it gives you better movement? Okay, so there's no actual change behind the number of sword users that you have, because ultimately what matters more is the leader of your team. So if my leader is a sword user, then so hard to explain it. But let me put it to you this way. It doesn't matter how many sword users you have, because whatever leader is in control, then the rest of the heroes, no matter what kind of weapon they use, they will be the ones to form the weapons you draw, so don't worry about that. However, it is important to collect these permanent heroes, because these permanent heroes are able to level up the more you use them. And the more heroes you level up, the more you'll be able to unlock these additional abilities that your weapons has. So for example, if you level up a lot of sword users, you will unlock extra abilities for the sword, such as being able to perform a sword rising, sword cyclone, sword stinger. And this applies to the rest of the weapons as well. The three key inputs that you need to unlock for every weapon is cyclone, stinger, and rising. And to do that, you need to find all these heroes and level them up for their respective weapons. And of course, the more heroes you have, the more you'll be able to make bigger weapons. There are 4 different sizes for each weapon. A weapon that consists of 10 heroes, 25 heroes, 50 heroes, and 100 heroes. Not 25? Alright, that's my mistake. Yeah, it's 10, 20, 50, 100. Once again, I deeply apologize for making these mistakes. But that's why I have you guys in the chat room. You guys are the best. And every time you complete these CUHRAYZEEs, you unlock these wonderful figures. The figures are essentially these little trophies that you can look at in the menu. Let me see. Let me bring it up. Here we go. Yeah, to put it simply, of course. And who should our first figure be but none other than Wonder Professor. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up this mission and we'll move on to Operation 001. Once we get to 001, I'll be able to explain all the things that you should be picking up. And along with a couple of strategies by yours truly. Where can you play this in terms of platform? The game is currently available on Steam, Switch, and PS4. I do recommend the PC version because that's where you'll get the game with its silky smooth 60 frames per second gameplay, or 59 frames per second if you want to be more specific. There is one frame issue kind of thing, but it's still pretty good. And then of course the second best choice would be the PS4 version. I do not recommend that you pick up the Switch version because it does have some performance issues, but if performance issues is not a big deal for you, and you prefer enjoy playing Wonderful 101 on the go, then that is another option. I love Wonderful 101 so much that I don't mind the slowdowns because I get to play it on the go. But obviously, if I had a choice between the two, I would stick with the PC version. But you can't go wrong with the PS4 version. Alright, so now let's move on to the store. This is where things starts to get really interesting. So the game here is telling you that before you head out to the battle, it is very important that you go to the Wonderful Mart to stock up on things. And of course, like I said earlier, you're going to need these O parts to purchase some items. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first two abilities that are extremely important to pick up would be Unite Guts and Unite Spring. Unite Guts is essentially an ability that allows you to block attacks. And here's a good thing about this game. It actually shows you a video demonstration of these abilities. Now, the one thing you should know about Unite Guts is that it does not actually block every single attack. It's only able to block blunt attacks. Any attack that looks like it can cut or pierce through pudding, it's going to break your block. So please be on the lookout for that. We're going to go ahead and purchase that. It's very cheap. Do not use their credit card on these things. I swear to God, if you use a credit card on this, I will hunt you down. Now, Unite Spring is essentially a dodge ability. If you're familiar with games like Bayonetta, this is essentially how that works. Tap the right trigger to dodge out of the way. Very simple stuff. But nevertheless, it's a very, very important ability. Okay, so now we're moving on to custom blocks. Custom blocks essentially changes up the way you fight these enemies. You are able to simultaneously equip multiple custom blocks with the number of slots that you have available. This is important. Remember when I was talking about how you level up heroes? Not only are you able to level up heroes in order to unlock additional moves, but leveling up heroes also will unlock extra slots for you to equip. Because of the cheat that I inputted, we start off with 2 additional slots right now. So we already have Speed Charge and Energy Converter, 2 of the custom blocks, which I would argue and say is the best custom blocks to equip. Speed Charge essentially speeds up the battery increase, because normally when you're playing through the game, like, you waste battery. But if you stand still or you don't attack, you slowly regain battery. With Speed Charge, that speed increases a little bit. Energy Converter is essentially anytime you heal and your health is maxed out, you instead build up battery. Likewise, if you build a battery when you're already maxed out on battery, you heal instead. So these two work within each other, and it is a very, very useful tool for making it work to your advantage. Now, on top of all that, I would highly, highly recommend picking up Ukemi.
Ukemi.
Ukemi is essentially an ability where if you take damage from an enemy, you have a chance to recover that damage by tapping the jump button just as you hit the floor after taking damage. If you time it right, your hero will flip back up on its feet and whatever damage you took is negated. This also means that whatever penalty you were taking from that damage is removed, giving you another chance at getting a pure platinum. And since this is expensive, this is where I would say you use their credit card. Boom bam. So let's go ahead and equip these. We got Speed Charge, Energy Converter, and Ukemi. 3 of the best custom blocks you can start off with. Now let's go back to the wonderful mart and see if there's anything else we can buy. Here we go. So now here's where things start to get a little interesting. You have the choice, depending on how much money you have at the very end of the first chapter, you have your choice between either getting Attack Liner or Speed Liner. Speed Liner is extremely good. Let's see. Speed Liner is extremely good if you want to be able to draw your shapes fast. However, this does require a lot of practice. If you're struggling to draw the shapes right, I would say stay away from the Speed Liner for a little while. Only buy this when you start to feel comfortable with how you draw your shapes. Instead, I would say focus on getting Attack Liner. Attack Liner is a really good ability to have, which works hand in hand with the Energy Converter, because the Attack Liner does damage to the enemies when you draw out your line. In fact, I think there's an explanation here. Let's see. Yeah, you see, when you draw your line over the enemies, you will damage them. And if you are maxed out on health, actually no, if you're maxed out on battery while you're doing Attack Liner, you will heal. That is really good. So let's go ahead and purchase this. I'll show off Speed Liner another time. Multi-Unite is super interesting. Multi-Unite is an ability where if you draw your shape, you can pass off your weapon to another hero. In fact, I think there's a really good demonstration here, but unfortunately, I already have that purchased, but I think this one has a video demonstration. See, the way Multi-Unite works is, you draw a shape, and then you press the Y button, and you'll have another hero use that weapon. They will automatically attack for you. This is really good for when you want to attack enemies from different corners. It allows you to be very aggressive, but you have to be very careful because once you have drawn out your hero, they're busy doing that thing and you won't be able to use that hero unless you call them back by holding the team button, which is the X button on the Xbox controller. And as you play through the game, you'll be able to buy a lot of multi-unites. You'll be able to have up to 4 multi-unites, which means you can attack an enemy with 5 weapons simultaneously. Your weapon plus the other 4 weapons that you have your heroes using. Alright. Now let's go on to Operation 001A. Alright, so let's see, what can I explain as I play through the game? One of the things you absolutely want to be on the lookout for are all of these open crevices in the game. For example, if you see an open window in a building here, draw your shape there in order to find these hidden bonuses. If you're desperate for collecting a lot of O parts, don't be afraid to smash all of the breakable objects around you. This is how you'll be able to collect items, such as these healing items, plus all the space vegetables you can eat. I'll talk about the space vegetables in a bit, but right now, let's actually get into the combat. First, let me get these batteries, because batteries are very important. Let's do it, baby. It is absolutely important that you learn to telegraph these enemy attacks. Not only is it very important to block an enemy attack, but it's also very important to be able to... Actually, let me reword that again, I'm sorry. It is very important to telegraph these enemy attacks, not only because it'll allow you to stay safe from an attack, but when you successfully block an attack with Unite Pudding, you regain a lot of battery back. This is extremely helpful for when you need that extra battery in order to be able to continue using weapons along the way. Pick up as much citizens as you can, break everything as much as you can. You want to take advantage of everything that you see in your vicinity. Alrighty, so far so good. Oh, and by the way, you can also pick up items by simply drawing your liner towards those things. So you don't need to always physically run into the items. You can have some big brain moments where you could just draw your shapes around the field in order to pick up everything. I'll show off the stinger trick in a minute. That's honestly a very complicated thing to explain, and it's not entirely necessary to learn if you just want to like jump in and start getting some pure plats. By the way, as you play through the game, you'll also be finding these circular objects on the floor. If you think it is something that you could trace around it, don't be afraid to do so. You might find some cool bonuses along the way. Wonderful toilets. So as you play through the game, you'll also discover these little toilets. If you draw your heroes into the toilets, you'll be able to find even more bonuses. These toilets are usually found out in the open, so don't be afraid to draw your heroes into them. You never know, maybe someone's got nature calling. And underneath that car is another temporary member. I mean, not temporary, permanent member. Welcome, Wonder Painter. He is a sword user. And say hello to the best permanent member here. Wonder Beer. Just give me the usual. What are we doing here? Educating the youth about the mad niche game like that everyone says is like Pikmin because they only use their eyes and not their hands? Right, yeah, we gotta educate these people. This is literally Pikmin 4. The Quickening. As you play through the game, you'll also be able to interact with these objects. You need to make sure that you have the right weapon equipped. For these gears, you're essentially going to need to be able to switch to hand to turn these over. Is the PC port more optimal? Is it easier to draw the Wonderliners? The Wonderliner system was left completely intact from the Wii U version. It was never really difficult to draw in the it was never really difficult to draw the shapes in the original game, but it is a tough thing for players to do. It's one of those where you need to build the muscle memory for getting these shapes to come out correctly. It's about understanding the gesture. It's not simply about trying to make the shape look exactly the same as what it's asking you to do. Like, you could do some really oblong shapes, but as long as you're doing the right gesture, the game will understand what it is you're trying to do. So you don't need to do a perfect circle for a hand. You could do like an oblong circle, and the game will understand that's what you're trying to do. Same thing with gun. Like, you don't have to do one straight line and then another straight line for gun. You can make a curve out of that, and the game will know that you're trying to do a gun. Sword, yeah, sword. It doesn't necessarily need to be a very straight line, but it does help that you try to keep it straight. But again, the game is pretty lenient in understanding what your gestures are. But if you are having troubles getting the right shape out, I do recommend just picking Operation 001A, fighting an open field, and just sit down and start building that muscle memory. Like, I make it look easy because I've been playing this game for like, I don't know, 8 years now? Like, how old is this game? Like, I've been playing the game since day one, alright? I make it look easy because, holy shit, I practice this game from time to time, every single minute of my life. Yeah, since 2013 I've been playing this game. Along the way, you'll find these baddies that look like gacha machines. Just like how we interacted with that dial with our hand, so too can you interact with this dial with the hand. But first, let's get rid of these enemies so that they don't hurt me. You want to be able to switch to hand and then get these heroes out from the machine. Sometimes you'll find temporary heroes, sometimes you'll find permanent heroes. Now to show you a really cool trick that you could do with multi-unite. So the game spends its time teaching you to use team attack. Team attack is essentially when you tap the X button, your entire team lunges towards that enemy. I'll show you. This is how team attack looks. If you notice, when I do team attack, a ring appears around the enemy. When that ring appears, you are essentially locked onto that enemy, which means that whatever attack you do next, you will fly to that enemy instantly. Let me show you. See? Let's do that again. I'm going to go all the way over here. Zoop! I could do that in an instant. But even better, not only can you do it, but so can your multi-unite heroes. Don't be afraid to experiment with your multi-unite abilities and your team attack abilities. There are so many ways in which you can approach enemies here, and it's part of the reason I love this game. You get so many options. You can also use gun to team attack an enemy. Now, normally, this is where you would move forward. However, as is the norm with Hideki Kami on his games, he always wants players to try to backtrack to find hidden missions. Because as it so happens, if you draw your Wonderliner back, you'll be able to come back to this area to discover a hidden mission. Yes, my friend, there is going to be some backtracking involved if you want to find every single mission. Annoying? Yeah, but you do get some cool stuff out of it. Well, maybe not. But it is required if you want to get all them trophies and bottle caps. However, I will show you one cool thing that you can find. If you go back to this warehouse, you will find that there are some more citizens here, including one permanent member. Oh, and just like that, we now have a wonderful stinger for Fist. And there we go. Wonder Diva. She is a hand user. I've been playing this game since 2013, my friend. Oh, and this game really does incentivize exploration. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This game promotes exploration. It looks like I might die if I fall down here, but nope. If you jump down here, there's some extra bonuses you could find. Such as this box, which gives us Wonderful File. Wonderful Files are essentially the game's way of explaining the lore to you. Here's another secret. Remember when I said to draw your heroes into open crevices? I ain't lying when I'm saying that there's a lot of these in the game. Be experimental and look for everything in your vicinity. So what's new in this version? Nothing major. Like I said earlier, the only thing new that the game adds is a new way to unlock these bonus characters. Originally for Bayonetta, you had to get all the achievements to unlock her, but with this new update, now you can just unlock her right from the start by putting down a written code. In fact, they added the wonderful code menu right here in the pause screen, although I don't have access to it right now. Be one with the Lord of the Holes, absolutely. We need to find every single hole and penetrate it. But we need to do it gently, so don't worry. And look at that, we got another toilet. Remember, your heroes are desperate in need of using a bathroom. There's 100 people, so chances are someone's gotta, like, take a piss. By the way, another tip that I do want to bring up, team attack. Team attack doesn't just put a ring around the enemy. If you constantly team attack an enemy, there's a chance you'll be able to subdue them. And by having them subdued, they'll be completely helpless to your follow-up attacks. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, actually, no, I can't even do that because I already knocked them over. But let's have them stand back up so I can demonstrate that that team attack subduedness. See, when they shine like that, it's time for you to go in for the attack. They'll be completely helpless. For a certain amount of time, of course. Let's see. There we go. Open window. Ah, Xenogenesis. Yeah, you're bringing up the mod that Matthew Matosis did. I actually used it for my wonderful 101 combo video because his mod allows you to pan the camera back a lot further than what the game allows you, which is very important for being able to see the entire thing. However, I do want to point out that Matthew Matosis made a post on his Twitter account saying that because of this update, the cheat table that he made for it doesn't work correctly. So he's in the middle of rewriting the code to make sure that his mod works appropriately with this new version. So be on the lookout for that. Oh, and also I want to bring up something really funny. Because we have Hammer available right from the start, One of the cool things that hammer allows you to do is protect yourself from any incoming attacks from the sky. Normally in this segment you're supposed to dodge all the missiles, but since we have hammer available right from the start, I would give the suggestion of bringing out the hammer so that you can stay safe from all of these missiles coming down from the sky. And it doesn't matter the size of your hammer, it will protect you from everything. Oh, and as you play through the operations, you'll find these platinum coins. Every operation has 5 coins. If you can locate all of them, you'll get a special bonus. They're not necessary for getting a platinum rank, so don't worry about it. Oh, now that I have 100 heroes, it's time that I talk about another thing. So you know how I was able to unlock Bayonetta and John right from the start? Normally, in order to use those characters, you would need to go into this menu and go into your leader selection and pick out the character that you want as your leader. Since Bayonetta is the only gun user hero, since Bayonetta is the only gun user that I have here, she's the only one that I can change into. But what about John? Since John is a sword user, and every time I switch to sword, I only get Wonder Blue. If you want to switch to John instantly, you need to draw out your weapon at its absolute maximum size. Boom! And with that, we get the achievement Super Unite More. John's special trait is that her sword has permanent electrical ability. Normally, in order to get electricity for your sword, you need to gain a combo multiplier of 2.5. But John, she ignores that. She just has an electrical sword all the time. And the electric sword does a lot of damage. Plus, it stuns enemies in place, giving you a chance to fight back. I really hope you enjoy the game though. I know the mini games can be a little off-putting, but if you're able to stomach the mini games and enjoy the combat system, you'll find that this is a really, really enjoyable game. But yeah, I understand completely when people say that Wonderful 101 is a bit of a nuisance because of the mini games. By the way, hammer is a good weapon for breaking through enemy armor. Super good stuff. Normally, if you attack an enemy with armor, your weapon breaks. But if you got hammer, that hammer can go through a lot of stuff. And Rodan has the ability to swing the hammer sideways, which is something that the regular hammer user cannot do. Now for this segment, you need to make sure to protect yourself from all the falling vehicles. All you need to do is face the shield towards the incoming trucks. However, if you want to make it easier on yourself, just hug this corner right here. And just like that, super easy stuff. Hello there, Zendoru. Thanks for coming in to watch this stream. It means a lot. Oh yeah, I do want to bring up something because the game doesn't actually make it clear and I skipped over it. Hold on, because we got another hero. We got Wonder Kung Fu, another fist user. So throughout the game, you're going to be coming across these walls that you'll need to be able to scale or climb up. If you want to climb up over these things, all you got to do is line up your heroes on it, and that's how you build a ladder for you to use. Man, I'm just able to get all these achievements right from the very start. Oh, hey, Tetsuo. How's it going, man? Hey, listen, Tetsuo, I just want to say I really hope things are going to turn out a lot better for you. I watched your stream, and I'm just going to get right to the point. I really hope things turn out for the best for you from here on out, man. I know it's hard to look at things from a positive side when things aren't going so well, but you are what you make of yourself. So it's much more important to try to be positive whenever possible, and, you know, I know it's difficult. I realize that I'm probably preaching to the choir or anything, but again, I just hope things turn out for the best on your end. And I'm not really able to do these cool combos since I don't have all the input abilities unlocked, man. I wish I could just show you guys all the really cool stuff right from the start, but you'll have to make do with all this demo stuff. I do wish that Wonderful 101 could have just been purely combat based. I know the mini games are probably the worst aspects about Wonderful 101, and I say this as somebody that loves the mini games. The mini games are absolutely a turnoff for a lot of people. I understand that completely. Where are you, you little bugger? There you go. The codes essentially allow you to unlock these characters that you would normally have to unlock by completing the achievements. They basically made it where the characters that are really hard to unlock are now made even easier to unlock. Like, for example, for Bayonetta, you need to get every single achievement. Well, now you don't need to worry about that. Just put down the code and you get Bayonetta right from the very start. You have a good night, sir. Thanks for stopping on by. I do look forward to the podcast we made. For those of you in the chat who are interested in knowing about this, me and Ty, we just recently recorded a podcast. It's not yet available online yet, but be sure to follow the dude. He will be uploading our podcast on YouTube soon enough, where we just talk about our interest in action games. I also talk a little bit about my history about it. Oh yeah, and along the way, you'll also be finding these hidden hammer locations. Don't worry if they're really tough to find, because in the store, you'll be able to buy what is called a hammer locator. Well, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. But basically what it does is it makes P-Star beep whenever you get close to these locations. If they're still tough to find, there are guides online that essentially point out where they're all located. It's a kind of annoying, a fairly annoying aspect, but you know, that's part of the whole exploration deal that the game offers. Ooh, now for the second best character in this game. Hold on. I have just unlocked Wonder Guitar! Let's rock! I'm actually trying to do a drawing of Wonder Guitar. I hope to get that done soon. Very nice. Now, normally, this game is telling me that I should really draw my heroes around the helmet to protect myself from the missiles, but since I have Hammer, I could just ignore that. This might actually be able to fix that problem that people have with having to cross this area when the helmet doesn't spawn. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Okay, so in Wonderful 101, there is a custom block that you can unlock called Hero Time, which essentially is Witch Time from Bayonetta. If you dodge an attack at the last minute, time slows down. Now, here, since I don't have Hero Time available from the start, if you have Bayonetta as your leader, she'll still be able to perform Witch Time as if you had the custom block equipped. So that is another cool thing that Bayonetta has that's unique from the rest of the crowd. Her and John are able to perform Witch Time without the need of the Hero Time custom block. Ah, so much fun. I can never get bored of this game. Also, if you come back here, you'll see these two couples from an earlier cutscene. Recruit them and you'll get this achievement. But that's not all. Remember when I said you can use hammer to be able to walk under the missiles? Well, if you walk under the missiles, back to where the helmet was. Let's see. Aha! You'll find there is an additional hidden item here. Wonderful dummy. If you need to stock up on wonderful dummies, this is a really good strategy to do so. Oh yeah, body types do affect movement, but it's kind of like a slight change, if anything.
Splendid!
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and continue with Operation 001B and then C, and then from there I'll stop the stream. Honestly, I just need an excuse to keep playing this game. Let's see if there's anything we can actually pick up in the Wonderful Mart. Ooh, we can definitely get Unite Tombstone. Honestly, I think Tombstone is a fantastic move to have when you want to link aerial combos. By tapping the left trigger and the right trigger, you'll be able to stomp on the enemies with a giant tombstone. The more active heroes you have, the larger the tombstone will be. So I'll go ahead and pick that up. And also, I'll go ahead and grab Unite Ball.
Unite Ball.
Unite Ball essentially allows you to turn into a ball to roll around at high speed. Some people say it's a very unnecessary move since the characters can run fast, but I would argue and say that ball is very important because it keeps all of your heroes safe inside the ball.
Roger. The wonderful 101.
Alright, and since we are at the beginning of a new section of the operation, our batteries are back to normal, and all of the temporary heroes that we've recruited are now gone, so it's back to square one. Whew, I almost died there. Well, not died, I almost got hit is what I should say. There's the Ukemi. I was trying to demonstrate for that. For this enemy, you are introduced to its ability to shoot lasers. Anytime an enemy shoots a laser at you, you want to make sure that you have your sword out to be able to block it back. Hey, Zandatsu Platinum Games. Hey, Transformers is definitely a good game. I feel like jumping back into that, but unfortunately I lost my save file for it. For some reason, Transformers Devastation is not supported through Steam Cloud. And when I got myself a brand new computer, I had to start fresh. I had to start from scratch. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, no, this game is special to me too. I'm like the one crazy doofus out there that loves everything about this, even the bad stuff. By the way, normally you're supposed to draw your heroes in order to create an elevator. Actually, no. Like, if you try to ride this elevator to the top, suddenly missiles. You have no choice but to create your own elevator. It's a cute little detail, if anything. However, if you notice on the right side here, there's a secret gotcha machine. Oh yeah, that's right. As you collect more heroes, you'll also be able to increase your health. Why? Because we are now including Wonder Matador, which had just enough level for me to be able to increase that health. What is Project L? I never actually heard of it. Wait, what the heck am I doing? I forgot to pull out the rest of the heroes for this thing. There we go. Welcome to the team, fat boy. Oh, League of Legends? Oh, that League of Legends fighting game? I remember my friend was talking about that. I actually forgot about it. Wonder Magician. Notice how his name is Harry Silverfield. Could it be a reference to a certain David that we know of? Nah, it couldn't be.
No freaking way, dude.
This boss fight may be intimidating, but really what you need to focus on is just destroying these little bubbles that come out of its arms. When the enemy, or the boss, brings out its fist, be on the lookout for when it tries to slam it down on you. If you time it right, you'll be able to block that attack. Also, he'll be throwing out these flames. Oh no, wait, no, not flame, it's sword. He shoots out the laser, so you gotta use your sword to shoot it back at him. I'm so sorry, I actually got confused, because I thought he was gonna shoot out the flames. Whenever an enemy shoots out flames at you, you can absorb the flames with fist. The block definitely has a large window, but it's only as large as the amount of people that are inside the block. So if you only have 10 active heroes and you make pudding, it'll be a tiny little pudding. Likewise, if you have 100 active heroes and you use pudding, it'll be a fairly large pudding, and it'll be able to block a good number of attacks. Oh yeah, a hammer may actually be very useful. Normally I would use claws here, but since I don't have claws unlocked, I can only use my regular abilities. And just like that, we now have Wonderful Stinger. Oh hey, Two Breaths Walk. How's it going? I haven't heard from you in a while. How's it going? It's nice of you to stop on by. This is great. So many wonderful people are coming in tonight. I'm actually glad that I still have audiences when I stream. Yeah, I'm testing out the new patch, just checking out what are some of the new changes. There's no real big difference here, just a new way to unlock the characters early on. So I'm playing the first operation with a fresh new file, but with all the stuff unlocked, or as all the stuff that I'm able to get now, which includes Bayonetta, John, and Rodan. While also, you know, just giving out some tips on how to survive. Because with this demo, I'm certain there's going to be a lot of new people playing this game. Like, I definitely jumped onto Steam to check out if there's a new activity, and yeah, there is a fairly bit of activity for people trying out this game for the very first time. I'm just a little nobody trying to teach players how to play a super niche game that is so hard to get into.
Unite, hand! Ha!
Damage level.
What rock was that thing hiding under?
Oh, by the way, another thing. You know how I mentioned how there are these circular objects on the floor that you need to circle around? Well, chances are you may need to circle some of these shapes. Let me see if I can demonstrate that for you. Like, you see this number 6 and how it's lighting up? That's a little hint letting you know that you should probably draw your shape to match that one. There we go. The demo, the new demo is actually miles better than the original Wii U demo. For the new demo, you have access to the prologue along with the entire Operation 001 missions, which means you get Operation 001A, B, and C. It's at least a 2-hour demo from what Platinum Games mentioned. Definitely a big improvement. Platinum Games is doing all they can to try to bring in all the players. Oh, check this out! Wonderful Rising is probably one of the best moves you'll be able to unlock. This is the key to performing some of the most amazing air combos that this game offers. Let's see if I can find some enemies to pull this off on. So, Wonder Rising is, or essentially any of the Rising attacks that you unlock in this game. Rising is a move where your weapon performs an uppercut. In the case of the sword, it looks like this. To perform the uppercuts, you press A or the jump button, followed by the weapon button, which would be B. So in this case, that would be AB. Not at the same time. They have to be like one after the other. So it'd be AB. AB. And you get a maximum of 2 to perform in the air. Once you perform 2, you need to land back on the ground in order to do it again. Now in this segment, the game is trying to teach you the importance of what gun can do. One of the cool things that gun can do is be able to pick up these objects from the front of its barrel and shoot it right back at the enemy. This is not a very common strategy in the grand scheme of things, but it is a very useful tactic nonetheless. I will be trying to show off all the cool things gun can do. Hopefully I'm able to unlock the additional abilities later on, before the end of Operation 001C. Sword is very effective. Too effective. Almost to a fault. Of course I didn't need to shoot it, but I wanted to explain what the importance of gun, because it's the only chance I'll be able to do something like that. I'm not going to tell people to skip everything. Here we go! Enemy is subdued, let's start doing these sweet air combos. Combine it with Tombstone, land on the ground. Another Cyclone, I mean not Cyclone, Rising! Oh, it feels so good to do that combo. I'll show you another hammer location. That one. Not just that, but also if you fly out to this segment over here, you'll see that there is a button there that you can push. But to push it, you'll need hammer. And if you bring out hammer while on top of the water, you'll be able to sink it down to the bottom, which will give you access to a heart. If you want your eyes blessed, go check out my combo videos for Wonderful 101. In those videos, I go wild. Like you've never seen before. I'm telling you, man, I'm too obsessed with this game. Kind of wish the camera would do better in this segment. Oh no! Oh wow, I actually got that Yukemi. I'm so good. You want to be careful not to attack an enemy when they're enraged, because there's no way you'll be able to break through that attack. You won't even be able to block it. So stay away from these enemies when you see them steaming. Oh my god, I love this game! Even at the bare minimum, I can still do all this cool shit. Can I? I don't have, what's that called again? Hero counter just yet. Wonder Kabuki. He's got that sword. Speaking of sword, you're gonna need that to unlock this door. Your sword can be used as a key. Now in this mission, you need to use your gun to pick up this battery and take it upstairs and shoot it into a slot where the battery needs to go. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. There is no hint, since you're not supposed to actually have hammer at the very start here. But I will say that there is an item that you could pick up in the store where P-Star starts to beep whenever you get near these hammer spots. A good indication of a hammer spot would be if you see these circular panels on the floor. If you can't draw around those circles, then it's mostly a hammer that you're going to need to break it down. Oh crap! Ah! I was gonna be a clean run. Wow. I suck at this game. I'm so terrible. Stream is over. Oh wow. I actually am terrible. What the fuck? This has never happened before. There we go. First try.
Hostiles on Tachyon Ray.
How about you come down here?
How to defend against enemies with no battery? If you have no battery, you have no choice but to run around with your tail between your legs. You're gonna need to build up that battery back up quickly. The best way to build up your battery quickly would be to use energy converter. It's like I was talking about earlier. By the way, if you attack an enemy and it looks like they're about to explode, you can actually draw your circle around them to recruit them. You can actually recruit the bad guys on your team. It's usually the small ones you can only recruit, not the big ones, although it would be cool if you could do that. Now, you'll notice at that moment when the enemy was going to attack, you see Wonder Blue yell out, "Hey!" Whenever you see a hero yell out, "Hey!" that's your prompt to try to bring out their weapon as fast as you can. Once you bring it out, you don't need to actually attack or anything. Just stand still with that weapon, and then you'll go into a special QTE segment where you attack the enemy with that weapon that the hero is calling out. You're not required to do this though. It's not a requirement. You don't have to actually bring out the weapon if you don't want to. But if you do, you get to do a bonus attack. And now for a little game of baseball. But we need a bat. And it just so happens there's an enemy over there that has a bat. To me, the most satisfying action in the game is performing Bomb and then Cyclone with a sword. Super satisfying. Make sure to grab all these old parts before the game is over. Oh damn, I actually forgot about the CUHRAYZEE. I think that's what might have costed me a platinum trophy. Look at that. That's usually what happens when I get caught up in playing this game. Sometimes I just want to get through it and get to the good part. Oh yeah, no, our heroes are just that cool. That's just how it is. Alright, let's see if there's anything that I can grab before anything else. Oh, I have a feeling that Project GG is going to be super insane, but knowing the fact that Hideki Kami is the one directing the game, you can bet that it's going to have all the good stuff and the bad stuff that Kamiya is usually known for throwing into his games. I would not be surprised if GG ends up having a bunch of minigames, but I also suspect that Project GG is probably going to have one of the most satisfying gameplays out there. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, the only thing I can really purchase for now is Unite Rocket, which honestly is a really good ability, but I would say it's only good if you know how to maintain enemies in the air. So I'll go ahead and grab that, but I'm not going to be able to just demonstrate any cool combos with the rocket because we're about to go into the boss battle. I'm certain that we're all going to love the next project that Kamiya has in store. As far as things are concerned, I have yet to be really disappointed by any of the games that Kamiya has made. I know not everyone shares the same feelings as I do with Kamiya, but you know, it is what it is.
Roger.
All right, so we're about to go into this boss fight. Every operation is split up into 3 segments. Operation 00A, 00B, 00C. A and B is part 1 and part 2 of the operation. And then C is the boss fight. And these boss fights range from simple combat to a lot of gimmicky stuff. And in the first operation, the first gimmick is shooting down the boss with your ship.
This is emergency operation mode, unlimited form. Disabling their Shirogane drive limiters, they push their suits to reach new levels of Unite energy capacity. However, this power comes at a cost. Extended operation in unlimited form can cause considerable
I
damage to
kind of hope that
Platinum
PlatinumGames can update this game to allow us to skip these unskippable cutscenes. It's just about the one thing I can say is bad about the game. You can't skip cutscenes. Just why? That's something that has always bugged me about this segment.
Team, fall in. Roger. The wonderful 101.
Incredible! I just saved my money by switching to Geico.
Alright, let's grab that. Honestly, Tetsuo, here's something that a lot of people have been speculating, and I think this might actually be a good thing if it turns out to be true. One of the DLCs that we've been promised for Wonderful 101 is Time Attack. Now, one of the things that people are speculating is that we believe that Time Attack may be a segment where you play the game normally, but with all of the bullshit cut out. Like, no cutscenes, no mini games, no none of that. It's just straight game, and you're being timed for it. It's like a time trial to see how fast you can speedrun through the game. Now, that's the rumor that we have. And honestly, if that ends up being true, I definitely think that's going to just make the game even more accessible for a lot of players. And I definitely think it needs it. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario to me is we end up getting a time attack mode where it's the same freaking game, except now you're being put on a time limit or something, which would be really bad. Yeah, so in this segment, you have to equip hand in order to steer the ship. and then from there, you're gonna need to gun down the dragon. As fun as this segment can be, or as it should be, it ultimately ends up wearing out its welcome because this dragon has way too much health, even on normal mode. This shit takes forever to get through. And it's even worse when you play it on 101% hard, where his health is essentially tripled, I think. Abridged 101 would definitely be good. Like, I love this game, and even I'm saying that, like, cutting out the minigame, cut the crap out, we could just have a straightforward combat-based game. It would definitely make Wonderful 101 a million times better than what we got now. There we go. I'm gonna do my best to try to get a pure platinum here. End it on a good note. Yeah, head does more damage, but good luck aiming that shit. The bullets here are just so hard to make go straight to the target you want. I just usually aim for the whole body. Well, I can cut out the chances of getting a pure platinum because I got stuck in that gel. As you're fighting through this boss, you're going to need to collect as much heroes as you can, because you'll only be able to progress through this boss fight after you have 100 heroes. I actually don't know. I'm not sure what more games I can stream for the time being because it's the holidays and I'm going to be very busy with my family. But if I have the chance to stream more games, I'm not going to be streaming action games for the time being. There's going to be a bunch of new games coming out that I'm excited to try out. For example, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I actually want to play that game real badly. I've been waiting for the sequel for a good long while. Wild Rift? Nah, I actually never heard of it. Sounds interesting though. What is it? I freaking love Puyo Puyo, man. I used to enter tournaments for that game.
Unite sword!
So now that I have 100 heroes, all you need to do is build another eye in this enemy.
This should be high enough. Say goodbye to your beloved.
The best freaking part of the game. Well, the best part of this boss fight, I should say.
Team, let's get her back.
Along with tables turns playing in the background. Now in this segment, you need to fight against the dragon while the platformer is falling. The best way to do that is to grab these little tanks and toss them right over to him. And if you see the dragon's mouth firing up its laser, block it with your sword. And then it's back to tossing these things over to the dragon. You can also switch to gun and shoot it, your little targeting bullets towards it. There we go.
Unite sword!
Yeah, it's a very long fall, isn't it? Say hello to that Nintendo Super Scope.
Not so fast.
During this segment, you're playing a game of chicken, sword to sword. Make sure to get your sword ready, and just before he flies right at you, you want to swing towards his sword attack.
Unite, build! Unite, hand!
No kidding. John being able to steal the glory. Her sword is just so much better than it has any right to be. Anyway, that'll do for tonight. For those of you who have yet to play Wonderful 101, there is now a demo available. I do implore you guys to try it out. It is a very unique game, if nothing else. It is also one of those kinds of games that's really hard to get into. I have no idea how I got into it. It just speaks to me in ways I just cannot be able to convey to you guys. But if you do find a lot of fun with this game, I do implore you guys to also check out my Discord channel. I have a Wonderful 101 Discord group where we all discuss all things Wonderful 101. So if you have any questions, or if you need a guide, or if you need anything to help venture down this road, well, that's what the Discord group is there for. As for when's the next time I'll be streaming, I honestly cannot promise you a date, but I will say that probably by the end of the week I'll be streaming some different games. Funnily enough, I collected a bunch of random puzzle games that I feel like streaming for you guys. Like, I just recently picked up Tetris Effect for the Xbox One, which also works on PC. And damn, that game is actually a lot of fun to play, especially the multiplayer. Puyo Puyo Tetris is also coming out, and I would like to stream that game for you guys. I want to show you guys my uber cool Puyo skills. And Catherine. I also picked up Catherine Full Body on the Switch, and it actually runs really well. It looks just like it was ripped out of the Xbox 360 version. Can I stream DMC? I definitely can. When the Virgil DLC drops on the PC version, I will be doing a Virgil playthrough for DMC 5, so be on the lookout for that. So here's where I say my goodbyes. So for those of you guys who decided to stick around and watch this stream, I thank you all so very, very much. You guys mean the world to me. I don't know why I'm able to get like 15 people to come in and watch this stream, but you know what? All 15 of you are amazing, and I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully this video has served as a way to help those out in the future. I do admit that I'm not very good at explaining things. I don't know why. That's just the nature of it all, because every time I speak, I'm always just blathering around, blah, 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 kind of thing. But yeah, I will never get bored of this game, ever. This game is a lot of fun. I will be trying to stream some more Wonderful 101 stuff, but honestly, I don't know what else I could stream when it comes to Wonderful 101, unless you guys just want to watch me goof around and play some random operations and just show off some of the cool air combos that I can do. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's see. Go ahead and load up this menu. I'm very curious to see what would happen if I put in the code when I already have everything unlocked. Let's see. I'm actually very, very curious. Let's see how that is. Let's see. Umbran gift. Imagine if I end up getting 2 Bayonettas. That would be something else. Hold on. Was that incorrect? I could have sworn I wrote it down. There we go. Oh, and I do want to stream Vanquish too. Since it's a very short game, I would like to devote just one day where I goof around playing Vanquish. Like, that last Let's Play I did for it was so awful that I'm willing to erase it all and just make a brand new Let's Play. Because when I was playing Vanquish the first time around, I was getting adjusted to the keyboard and mouse controls, and as a result, I kept messing up. But, you know, now I've actually gotten so much better at it. I know how to do all the cool flips and tricks and whatnot. You know what? I said I was going to give you guys the code in the description for the third one. And while I will be doing that, I will leave you guys with the final code. And that is Platinum Forever, which gives you Hideki Kamiya himself. That'll do it, my friends. I am off. Thank you all again for watching this stream. I am out. See you later, everyone. Have a good one. Stay wonderful.